Yo, welcome back to the Infinite Grifball podcast. Snowplex here with episode number 14. This is AGLA Summer League 25 Preseason edition. And as always, I have my co host Mavbrid here with me. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. And our special guest today is a very special guest and Halo 3 vet making a resurgence back to Infinite. It's NKot Be Forever. How you doing, bro?
What up? What up? What up? I'm doing good. Doing good. I'm glad to be here. Glad to hear you're both doing good. I'm excited to talk Grifball.
Definitely, that's what we do here. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the segment here that we have next, and it'll be all about NKot. So you can really just go into whatever you want to talk about in detail, how you got started, where you're at now, maybe a little water talk. Wherever you want to veer the conversation, you go for it, man. It's all you.
All right, nice. I'll take the stage. So, started way back in the day in Halo 3. Back then, I was playing with my friend Pete. He got me into it, and I'm happy to say Pete's back again now for this season of Infinite. So, looking to have some fun. I played a number of seasons of Halo 3. Then Reach, I kind of fell off. Life happens. Came back with MCC 2018, 2019. Then took a little dip, and now I'm back in Infinite. I feel like the game's in a great place. I truly think this is a great iteration of Grifball. I love the mechanics. I love the interactions, the nuances. I think it's actually wonderful.
That's an uncommon thing to say, NKot. Most people
Yeah,
call
I
this
get a
like the
lot of
worst,
flack.
like the worst, like version Grifball ever. I'm a little shocked.
I get a lot of flack for it, but I think it's everyone talks about the slow hammer. It just means you have to swing early and with purpose. They talk about the movement. You have to just move with purpose. It's a more strategic version, I feel, than 4 and 5, which I was not a big fan of. A lot of love out there for it. I wasn't a big 4 and 5 guy, so
Yeah, I find that Infinite is definitely a more predictive Grifball, as because of the way the hammer is. It's not instant like the older games. Because Halo 3, Reach, Halo 4, even Halo 5, they were damn near instant with the reload time. Whenever you started to swing, and it's a little slower in Infinite, but I kind of agree with NKot. I'm better on this game, and I think it favors me to be able to out predict people and outplay them.
it's Grifball for old men now. It's I don't need to have hair trigger reactions anymore, and that's why I got Pete and I got my friend Eric. Got them back in the fold. We're all in our mid early 30s, so something a little slower paced is great for us.
Definitely. I just want to ask you an oddball question here. Has been your favorite thing that you've ever found at your job, working at the
At
junkyard?
my job, I think so. For reference, I have a junkyard scrapyard, and we get a lot of really nice pieces in. And the one thing that I probably say is my favorite is I have a scuba helmet, a brass scuba helmet, a real one that you'd put on and have the suit and the big hook up to it. So, I mean, I think I paid the guy $40 for it. So home run on that piece, and that's my favorite that I've kept. I have a lot of cool things. You keep them, then you get rid of them and cycle them out. But that one, I don't think I'm ever getting rid of. So
I'm sorry, you only paid $40?
I buy it by the pound. So I weigh it up, and I'm paying you for brass. So if brass was $1.30 at the time or $1.40, you're getting $1.40 per pound.
That's great. So it's like one of those really old school kind of scuba diving gear, like you said, with the brass that hooked up to the big bulky ass thing. That's
Yeah, like a
wild.
Bioshock, like Big Daddy Bioshock helmet, but made of brass.
All I imagine just NKot like walking around in a Bioshock like outfit now. That's a great
Yeah,
image in my
you
head.
can put it over your head. It fits. Over. It has like shoulder guards. You can put it right over your head and wear it all around town.
What the hell?
Yeah, that sounds like some great apocalypse armor. So definitely keep a hold on that. I can see why you want it.
Now I'm gonna turn it tables a little bit on you guys because I said that I love Infinite Grifball. I know that's not the most popular opinion. I know you said you were a fan of it. You like the kind of slow pace, predictive nature. Mav, you're a fast young buck. What do you think?
I don't know. Like, so this is the only Grifball I guess you could say I've ever been good at. So I have no idea which one I prefer. I I don't know if I just don't have like the Gen Z Zoomer brain, but like I kind of like how Infinite's pace, whether it's slower. So I don't
That,
know.
that's
Like I,
interesting that you say that because I came back and was shocked when I first came back. There was a season I believe that just ended. There was rankings. There was going to be a bid, and I'm seeing all these letter grades that you guys started incorporating, and I saw Mav as an S. And my experience with Mav was
I'm
people
bad.
almost picking on Mav. So I was like, oh, that S must be ironic. It's Mav. Probably terrible. Mav is an S tier player. He's fantastic at this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is Mav's game for sure. Akin to A Spence and a couple of others that are just really good at this game, even though they've played others or tried others. Um, I would say that this is Mav's favorite game from playing against him. It definitely seems like he enjoys it as his favorite. So
I mean, I like it. I'm not to be honest with you, I'm not even really sure what is my favorite Grifball. It's probably going to be Infinite because I'm good at it, but that's just me.
Yeah, isn't there like that feeling when you play it though and you're good at it and you're, dominating? That makes it fun in and of itself.
I promise is when I do that, I become like hyper toxic because like I don't know how to describe it. It's like an adrenaline rush.
well,
It
yeah,
just
Oh,
like fuels the fire.
yeah. I think half the fun is winning. Sometimes. I mean, I have fun playing, but it's always an added bonus to win because I'm competitive. I like to win, man. Who doesn't?
well, to give you some insight into what I just got finished with some scrims, we scrimmed against a pro team. It was Hell's Ace, Scullin, and Priest was subbing for BCN. And it was a delight to get absolutely clobbered. We got beat 5-0 3 games in a row, murdered. I had a great time, and I think that's what separates old school players from newer players. Like, no offense to you, Mav. I don't think you would enjoy getting beat 5-0 3 times in a row. I was
No.
loving it.
And Caught, you're a second yeah, individual. I
But
can't understand the enjoyment.
because that's what we did. We used to play customs and you just lose over and over again to a super team and just keep having fun trying to beat them. And that was the fun part.
I think it's really important for legacy teams to play pro teams for that reason. It's going to be rough, but like if you can somehow scrap together a goal or two in one of those games, that's almost a win right there, like an actual win. Because when you play against those pro teams and then go back to playing other legacy teams when the season starts, it'll be like weights being lifted off.
It's a different world. I mean, I'm not sure when you wanted to dive into the pro legacy stuff, but it's a dramatically different world. And I think it was great for Pete and Eric to experience that. We had just played a couple scrims the last couple of days, and we were getting to the point where we were 5-0ing teams, 5-1ing teams, and we were kind of handing out, big losses to teams. They didn't understand how someone would be better than what we were doing until they got beat, and it was like a reality check. You can't just swing at a guy because there's someone to the left who's going to kill you before you kill him, and you just did nothing at all. You have to be aware of everything in good games.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've all had that kind of a shock at one point or another in our Grifball playing careers, whether coming from matchmaking or joining the league early. I feel like everybody's had that kind of wake up call. But I suppose we could go ahead and move on to the next segment that I have here, and it's all about matchmaking. Um, Matchmaking came, and it was a featured playlist for a few weeks, and then now it's still in there under Arena Social, so it's still playable. It was definitely great to see the playlist back in matchmaking for a Halo game. It's been a while. I want to say like 6 years since it's been a permanent playlist like that. It's something like that, 6 or 7 years. And of course, it was fun to play it, but it was unfortunate to reach MMR hell so fast.
Yeah, I noticed that happening quickly too. I was more impressed with. So I didn't play a lot of Halo 5, like I said. And apparently there was a couple different modes in the matchmaking. One was where you could throw the bomb and score a goal with it. And I could not believe how many people were playing matchmaking that had ingrained that into how they thought Grifball functioned at like a competitive level. So people were picking it up and just bombing it straight across the court. And I didn't know what was happening until I learned about the Halo 5 thing. So I just like to see that there's a whole community of matchmaking players who are dedicated and learn the game in their own way and enjoy it. I think that's really important to have like a subsect of people who you can have a little meta going on their own.
I never played matchmaking in Halo 5. I think the only matchmaking I ever played in was Halo Reach, Halo 4, and then I didn't play again until MCC. So I had like no experience with what the Halo 5 matchmaking scene was like. So it was a little weird to just see them like chuck it across the fucking court.
Yeah, they would do that every time. Now, did you guys play all the modes, or did you have the third person ones off?
So my problem was that my MMR was so high that I could only play like whatever mode was given to us. So I think I only ended up playing like the normal modes because it was usually me, novice, ace, and then whoever our fourth was in matchmaking, and we would just like 5-0 someone in like under a minute. So I couldn't really play the other modes because we'd be sitting there for an hour just waiting.
Yeah, that was what uh, he was saying about the MMR hell. It was like a very sudden change where your queue times went from 30 seconds to a minute to 5 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
That's
it was wild.
Yeah, that first day, I was the fourth with Mav Ace and Novice, and it was the first two games were pretty quick, and then once we hit the third game, the wait started, and then it just got exponential basically. Then we couldn't find a game at all. But after that, I played a lot of solo and duo, and it wasn't that bad, especially when I started playing solo. I was able to play a lot of games like that, but eventually, even there, it got to where you just can't find a game. It takes too long.
now. Did you guys try that no death challenge, the Ace Spence no death challenge? Because I tried a few times and it was not for me.
I don't think we did because we could never get in games like long enough to like actually try it. We also, took forever, so we eventually just got off the game because we don't want to wait like 2 hours to get in one match.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't really work for how good you guys were to try to get 50 kills in a game. Even I feel like there's no shot you guys have a game that goes without you just straight stat padding, which was against the fundamental process of that
Yeah,
event. So
Yeah. Speaking of challenges, I hosted a few win streak challenges. They were pretty fun and gave people something to do. Kind of like
yeah, I
kind of
saw
like
those.
kind of like a side quest, basically, is what I saw it as. But yeah, it was really nice to be able to play it again. Definitely that first day, the first couple of matches we all played together with me and Mav and Ace. That was definitely a lot of fun, obviously. But shout out to obviously everyone that helped on the game type. Mainly Deathcrawler, Ace Spence is in there, Digital Pain, a little bit of Fancy and Skullin too. I'm not sure if I'm missing anyone else, but uh, definitely major props to all those people that helped make it happen.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't believe what has become of this game. It's amazing to me what was done. And I just wanted to point out the matchmaking. I love when you're playing matchmaking and I mean, you guys had a different experience that you were doing a stack. When I play solo or if I play with I play with Smurf a little bit, you'd beat a team, then you'd beat a team, and then you get in a game and you wouldn't be paying attention. And you'd be like, oh my goodness, this guy killed me like really hard. And it happened again. And then you'd look at their names and it'd be like, oh, it's Chemical and Cosmos just clobbering me right now.
I don't think we ran into many like other Grifball players besides from just like us. So it was usually just strictly just like normal matchmaking kids.
I wonder if that was a four stack kind of thing. Because with the duos, I know I was running with duos and those two were running a duo the first like week. And I just kept every like fifth game I get matched up against them. And it was always just exciting to see them and, you know, see how badly they beat up on us and the bad players. Not sorry, the new players.
Be careful there.
Yeah. But there's been some good new players that have come out of it, like DVO. We'll definitely be talking a bit about him later, especially whenever Legacy comes up, and there are some others. So I mean, it's definitely been quite impactful to have a stream of players that will be able to come into the community and have a
I
way for
definitely
them to
think we
play
saw
it.
some good retention. I was very happy with the pool of players signed up this season. That so many of them seem to have come from matchmaking. I mean, that's exactly what you need. You need new influx of people coming in who want to see what's going on at a competitive level, and if they like it, they get more involved, and you end up with new people joining the community for a long time.
All right, so I think we could go ahead and move to the next section. What I have next is a lot of events that we had in the off season. First, it was the Nexus Circuit, then Return to Griff Classic, the Neon Circuit, and then Mythic Gaming held kind of a collab event with us, with the Octane game type, the one with thrusters in it. So there's definitely a lot happening in the off season. And first was the Nexus Circuit that the late league admin team, including Lux, helped set up. And the winner of that tourney was Uplifted, which was actually Lux's team. Lux, Cosmos, Death, and Recharging won that one. NKot
That's a stacked team.
was that the one that we casted, or was it the Neon Circuit?
No, I
I'm
don't
pretty sure it
believe.
was the Nexus one.
Yeah, we casted this one because I don't see my name on any of the teams. So, yeah, this is the one we casted. And just a side note there, that shit was fun. We definitely have to do that again sometime.
Yeah, that was a blast. I loved that whole experience. I had a great time. It was a little tough. It was first time casting, first time doing camera work, and I was doing both. But I mean, great event. I just love any sort of one-off tournament, any sort of event like that. I think are awesome, and they're way more suited for certain players. And you see a meta develop right then and there overnight, which is always fun.
Is that the one I was on Novice's team for? I
Yeah,
swear that was the one I was on, like, Novice Tommy's team, and then I had Panther Lily. I think
yeah,
it was Panther Lily.
yep. You nailed it. That was your team.
Yeah, that was so. Unfortunately, every one of these events that you've talked about have happened on a weekend I am not available. The Nexus circuit, though, I was confused about the dates, so I actually was available, but I figured, let's not. Why don't I help out and cast it since I haven't played? I didn't really gear up to be in the tournament, so that was why I was casting it. But I really wish we had one when I was around.
What days can't you play?
So now it's all screwed up. I go upstate. I have a house upstate New York that I go to pretty much every other weekend. So it's just the timing on it happens to line up where it's like the weekends I'm upstate is when these events happen.
Oh, okay.
But the turnout doesn't hinge on me being there, and I love the turnout that's been going on and the quality of game. So I'm not going to knock on it too bad.
Yeah, they wanted to have some kind of broadcasting for it, and it kind of worked out. I didn't have enough games played because at the time it was just I couldn't meet the required games played to register for that one. So I said I'll just co-cast or something.
Now, Return to Griff Classic. Which event was that? Because I don't remember that one.
Uh,
You
that
refresh.
that is the one that Death spearheaded and set up. It was it was the one set up with the DJ Blue stream. DJ Blue and Trespass were casting, and Noble was doing production. Shout out to those three for sure. And that was the classic game type, so that was no thrust.
Okay, yeah. So that was a big event then, right? That was a because I know they had some serious production on that event. They had Noble and DJ involved. And Trespass. I always forget how entertaining he is as a commentator.
Yeah, he's
Is that the event that was $1,000 prize pool? I can't remember if that was the one or not.
yes. And the winner of that one was Hemorrhoids for Days. I know Shrek was on that team, but I actually can't remember who else was on it.
There
I
was a
think
prize
that
pool
was
in that
Ace
one?
and yeah, there was like $1,000 prize pool. I like faintly remember this now because I think I was working when that happened. I'm pretty sure that team was like Ace, Novice, Shrek, and KD. I can quickly double check.
Definitely a super
I mean,
team because it was classic
yeah.
format.
Anytime you have Shrek, Novice, and Ace on a team, I don't know. Katie's also fantastic, so that team's super stacked.
Sure, yeah, you have someone holding the ball, and then you have just the most dominant Slayers killing everything, going for pass routes too.
Yeah. So Return to Griff Classic was a classic, classic Griff, classic team formation.
Yeah,
Neon Circuit was the second of the circuits, right?
yeah, that was yeah, it was after the Nexus circuit, and the Nexus circuit was the teams were made by a few factors. I know rank had to do with it, stats also, and then a sprinkle in a little team comp too to make things interesting. So they use late league ranks, but then they also kind of handpick teams to make them good, to kind of balance them
Yes.
out.
Those teams were very balanced, though. I remember that. I think Lux helped pick those teams, and he did a great job. I know he won the event, and it's easy to say he picked the team and he won the event, so his team was too strong. I think all those teams had a fair shot at winning that thing.
Sounds like you're rigging it at that point.
I disagree, but so I know that one then, and then the Mythic Gaming event. Do you mind giving me a little info on that one?
Yeah, let's see where I'm looking for the neon circuit results. Let's see.
Yeah, it stinks because when these happen over the weekend, if I'm not around and I'm not on the computer and I'm not really paying attention to what's going on, I miss the whole thing.
It looks like Pop Tart did spearheaded this one and hosted most of it and put it together. And it looks like Hybrid Theory won the Neon Circuit, and their team was Ace, Rage, Avenger, and Necessary Evil for that
Okay,
one.
that's that. I mean, Ace just seems to be the X factor on these events, but that seems like a not super team in the classic sense of a super team.
Right, and that was the team's handpicked by Pop Tart as well. So
Okay, so they were balanced out across the board.
right,
Rage and Ace are a dynamic duo that I don't think gets enough respect. I last won a championship with the two of them on my team back in Halo 3 MCC.
What team was that?
That
That
was
the
the
one with
Junkyard Dogs during the season that everyone wanted me to not be admin anymore.
Oh, that was the one where we did cards for the draft. I
We
forgot
did
about
cards
that.
for the draft. It was all based on points. There was a board game aspect to it. It was chaotic.
Okay, now I remember because that was the one you had a tone on your team,
Yeah,
right?
it was me, Rage, Ace, Atone, and Aware Mosquito. And Aware played games too. I'm a big fan of having the whole team play, but it was a very insane season. But it's just Rage and Ace together seemed to work. They seemed to mesh, and we just dominated.
Oh, because you guys played the team of Solace, Demon, and Star in the finals, if I remember right, and you beat them.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
it's all coming back to me.
we had a that was one of my favorite Grifball memories. I know as an old timer, you're supposed to say that the Halo 3 back in 2009 were the best times. That finals was amazing because it was scheduled at a weird time, and Atone showed up and was whispering that he had a barbecue happening at his house. He told his wife he went to go get ice, and he snuck around and came in the side door and was playing. So we won the first game, and we're about to win game two. And Rage tells him that it's a best of five, and he was so upset. He was like, "No, you're messing with me, right? This is over, right?" I was, "No, we got to play. We have to win one more entire game right now."
I have to find this stream now because that was like a blast from the past.
It was so entertaining that he kept just being like, "If oh my goodness, can we just win? We have to win right now." And then we won, and he just disappeared. I mean, he was getting ice for 2 hours.
Is that a tone you're talking about?
Yeah, Tone
Yeah.
was getting ice for a barbecue for 2 hours while we won a championship.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's definitely a good one. Um, Going back to the Mythic Gaming tourney, I had to look that up a little bit, but it looks like that was won by Stonewalls, which was Cosmos, Pop Tart, Mungo, and Smurf. Then
Okay, that's a nightmare team right
yeah,
there.
yeah, and then second place was A Spence, Hells, Priest, and Maxwell, who he played really well. It sucks that it's unfortunate he couldn't play in the season because he played in the EUGBL back in the day. But he played really well as a fourth who had never played this game before, really.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's. I mean, that Cosmos team just sounds like such a miserable team to play against. Because Mungo, I feel like is it's just so streaky. Sometimes you just can't kill him, and Smurf is just doing some of the most bizarre things you've ever seen. And then you get through all that nonsense, and you see Cosmos just standing there, just unkillable. That sounds so brutal.
I suffer every day when I have to play Cosmos because it's just I feel like I have to sit there and like stare at his forehead, and my eyes just go dry from just staring and staring and having to like match his movements.
Trying to read his mind a little bit, trying to see inside that brain, see what's going on.
It hurts the head.
Yeah, he's definitely seems like he's related to HB Silent in some way. Second cousin maybe.
I see his play though, compared to Ace's. If you were to compare those two, Ace, I feel like is doing things that are a little funky sometimes, but it tactically like on point. He's tactically making some of the best plays you'll ever see, but they're unique. Cosmos is just making the smart, safe, guaranteed play every time, and it's so frustrating to fight against.
He definitely has the mechanics down in this game. He definitely is good at breaking trades and stuff like that, and staying alive. Well, we got all those events down, and definitely shout out to everyone that helped make those events happen to give people something to do in the off season. And then we had a little bonus one in there where that Mungo hosted that was beat the admins, and he had a prize up, and a few of us went on alt so we could find games. That was that was fun for what was it, Mav, an hour?
Yeah, it was an hour or so, and then I had to go. Then you guys lost.
Well, yeah, because you left us. Of course, we're gonna lose without you. But definitely fun. So, but we can I guess we can go ahead and move on to the next section, and that would be Pro League predictions. And
Oh, this is the meat and potatoes. This is the big one.
yeah, and I've actually got a rankings that Necessary Evil wrote up, and I did the articles on it, and he'll be posting that at some point, I'm sure. But this is these are his rankings, and I definitely thank him for doing these. I think he's done it the last couple times I've done preseason ones, at least for to some degree. And in sixth place, he has Like Clockwork, which is Lux, Genji, Demon, and above average. Uh, I think Lux is being Coach Lux here. He grabbed Genji. He has a familiar piece, and I know he really wanted Demon because even though he hasn't played in any Infinite seasons, I think he has a lot of potential, a lot of slang potential, and Genji wanted above average to round out their team. So that's kind of how that went. Each player got one player that they wanted, and I think their team definitely has enough tanking, but we just have to see if the playmaking and all that's there, which it should be, because they have Lux. He's really good at
Do
that.
you know who's carrying the bomb on that team?
Uh, I scrimmed them last night, but Lux wasn't there, and they had Mr. Above Average run. But I
Okay.
don't think that's. I think it's going to be Lux if I really had to guess, or it might be Gingy. Those would be
See,
like my two guesses.
I mean that team. I feel like that team on paper, if you said just power wise, I don't know if they'd be, above. I think 6 is not bad for just straight raw power, but I just don't see that team losing out. Something of Lux and Gingy and Demon have like the win factor, the secret win factor that I just could not, in good conscience, rank them last place in anything.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked by this because, like, I'm assuming Evil has no idea who Demon is, which I guess makes sense because I don't think Evil ever played in an era that Demon did. But, like, I would probably put this team, like, a lot higher. I'm a little shocked.
Demon's a frustrating player too because I feel like he always acts so casual that he's beating you into oblivion. But I don't know if he is casual or if he's very sweaty. But he always acts casual. So the Lux Gingy Demon combo is going to be as cool and collected as a team comes. And they're just so 60 gave them sixth, huh? I'm gonna say I just disagree with that. That's my vote. I don't know if we're voting on these, but I'm voting. I disagree with sixth place for that
Yeah,
team.
I'm
I have to agree with NKot here.
I'm not good at rankings, so I don't do them. I usually just have someone else. I'm good at talking about the teams though, but I don't do my own rankings. So I guess somebody's got to get put last. I mean, I'm not.
Someone's got to get put last. Is right.
Yeah, and it's a tough pro league. I mean, I guess I can't say where I would put them really, but I don't. I think all these rankings are close together, other than of course a few teams at the top. They've got a leg up on some of the others, but I feel like a lot of these teams are pretty close. So,
Yeah.
when we scrimmed them, I mean, I believe we won a game and lost a game. We split, I believe, or 1-2, or they
So
won 2 one time. Because I know we scrimmed them more than once. So I think we split all of our games. So they definitely can win. Um, they've got win power for sure. If their tanking line comes together, it's no problem.
now, who does he have as fifth? Because I think that's. Let's just see if me and Matt want to do a hot swap on that fifth, sixth. But let's
I
see.
have to assume this is Cosmos.
Number 5 is underrated, which is Cosmos, KD Skill, Pop Tart, and Priest. And whenever we stream this team, definitely the Cosmos factor. He's fucking the most annoying player to play against, basically, save for a few others. But he's definitely a headache to deal with. And then you got KD who holds down your possession, Pop Tart the catalyst, and Priest is a damn good fourth for that team. When we scrimmed them, they kind of had some hot and cold to them. They 5-0'd us one game, and then we 5-0'd them the next game. So it was kind of, I guess we were both hot and cold, our teams that night. But
Yeah, that's a interesting team because so that it's so hard to predict on these teams because top players are important, and normally I'd say the fourth, like the worst player in the team, is what determines how good a team is. And Priest, I think, is just fantastic, especially as a role of kind of helping a team stay focused on the objective. He does a great job rallying the troops and kind of coordinating a little bit. So that team is good, but I mean, Pop Tart and Poison Pop Tart and Priest just lost to Lux and Gingy in the last championship. So, just based on that, I would put them below Lux and Gingy, in my opinion.
so maybe
Yeah,
swap them. Yeah.
yeah, I would swap them.
But that's a me and Mav opinion, and I'm going based strictly on the fact that we just had them in finals, and the Lux Gingy coordination was too strong.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
swapping because I think that I mean Cosmos's team is sort of lacking like that one other really good player. No offense to KD or Pop Tart, but just like the S tier or like A plus tier player that Cosmos could have drafted like Solace, but I also understand Cosmos was going for like a really scrim heavy team and Solace wasn't into that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
he was really focused on chemistry. Cosmos was.
yeah, that team definitely has it. Has I mean, compare that team to to like Chemical's team, and I think that team has way more chemistry. But now it's how far does chemistry get you in against the team where all 4 players can tank? So I guess we'll find out. But I do like those bottom 2. I am okay with those 2 being towards the bottom half of the rankings.
All right, and number 4 would be Legends Never Die, which is Snipe, Papa Snipes, Sab, myself, and Marvin. And definitely the shock of the draft. I'm still kind of shocked that I'm a second rounder. I got that second round draft pick money, Mav. We should go out for drinks. But
Are you buying?
You two, NKot. Hell no, you're a first round draft pick. You pay.
God damn it.
No, Mav is drafted 1 pick before you, right? It was
Okay.
Snake.
Yeah, okay, so Mav, you pay for my drinks and I'll pay for NKot's drinks. Fair?
That's a bad deal.
I was
I'm
gonna
gonna drink
say,
a lot of beers.
NKot's gonna just fucking run up the tab.
It sounds like a good deal to me. Be fun.
The other night, I actually went to a bar real quick. I had to pee so bad, and I ran to this empty bar, and I felt like a jerk running straight to the bathroom. So I dropped my card, and it was like 2 Coors Lights, and I ran into the bathroom. And when the rest of my friends came in, the girl was like, "Are you with that guy who ordered 2 beers and went to the bathroom?" They're like, "Yeah, it sounds like our guy." Got to order 2 at a time.
Yeah, you gotta have one for each hand.
It's a requirement. So who do we got number 3 now? Is the big? Oh, it's you guys. So you guys.
Well, we were number
Snipes.
4. Yeah, we're
4?
we're number 4, and
Talk about you though.
Yeah, what I can say about our team is, fucking, of course, Sab is Sab. He's good all the time, anywhere on the court. He's dangerous, and of course, Snipes is very good at killing. So between 2 of them, they get a lot of killing and they get the flanking in. With this team, I kind of see myself as the 3rd round draft pick, and Marvin is kind of the 3rd, and I'm the 4th. That's the way I look at it, because Marvin is just really, really good. He's way better than me. He's really smart with the ball, and he knows how to keep possession. He's good at being aggressive whenever he's hot. He's really smart with it. So really, my job is to just be an annoying fuck and just get the important kills, whether it's catching a pass or getting a trade near our plate that we need to stop a push, stuff like that. As long as I can do that and be streaky, I think we'll be fine.
See, this team, your team, I feel like has a weird issue that none of the other teams have, and it's that Snipes and Sab, from just playing with Snipes for a season, if it wasn't really a full committal, and playing against them, the 2 of them take up so much room on the court that I find that it's going to be hard for you and Marvin to find a home. And if you guys can, I think your team's going to be really strong. But finding that home between those 2 and how much space they need, but how much support they expect, can be difficult. But if you find it, I think you guys are fine, like really strong. But for now, until you guys get in that groove, I don't have a problem with you guys being 4th, overall ranking right now. Mav does not want to talk.
I just realized my mic wasn't fucking working. Ugh. Anyways, as I was saying, Noplex, I'm kind of surprised he went in second, because I thought that would have been like Skolin.
Yeah.
I don't know, not saying that you're not a second round player, but I thought I would have gone like Skolin and Hawk, and to me that on paper just looks better. I don't know, I'm worried that you might get overwhelmed, your entire team might get overwhelmed, but obviously you have Snipes and Sab, which is probably the best duo in the entire draft. So I don't know, I can see what NKot's saying, but I'm just concerned overall with you guys just getting out tanked.
Yeah, I feel like Noplex has a very important job in that he needs to be almost like a connection point for the Sab Snipes duo, but he can't invade their space, and if he falls, it splits that team pretty hard. So Noplex has a lot of weight on his shoulders. But I do like that you just described 3 players going in that spot that all happened to go in the next. It was Snake, right? So it went Noplex,
Yeah.
BCN, Skull, and Marvin. Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like he was overdrafted hard. If he was, I mean, BCN and Skull were the next 2 picks, followed by Marvin. So I don't mind Noplex there. I just think they're asking a lot of Noplex in terms of positioning. I don't think they're asking for killing power above Noplex's pay grade.
Well, we've been really doing well tanking together. I mean, we've scrimmed all the teams already. We've scrimmed Mav's team. Uh, Mavs team was very good for sure. We'll get to them later though. But the only team we didn't win a scrim against was Shrek's team, and there were 4 5-3 games. So I mean, I thought we scrimmed and played well together. It's just all about being streaky at the right times and taking pressure off of them, so then they can get tank ends.
Yeah. So you think, but if you're confident that you could do that role, I think your team's going to skyrocket in the overall rankings. It's just a weird role for you. You know what I mean? I don't think of you as that kind of player. I think of you as like a killer.
No, I'm actually the opposite. I like to flank and go for pass plays, but we're team tanking and that's what they want to do, so I'm adjusting to that.
Okay.
I like to be out on the edge on my own because I feel like I can be more annoying. But
So
oh, go ahead.
I just think Marvin too is a shock to me how good Marvin is. I mean, I saw it a little bit last season, and I just every time I look at anything, he is very good. He has a lot of game sense, and I think that's going to be a big factor too. Is the game sense of the 4th player, and I think him and Priest are in close contention on that stat.
Yeah, I guess the way that I look at it is if I didn't go where I was going to snipe, I think I was going to go to Hells. I think Hells was going to pick Skullin and myself. So then, if I was available, I still think Snipe would have probably caught me on the other way on the in the last round on Serp. So he would have just got me as a 4th anyway. So I guess I don't really see a difference, but I guess I'll agree with Mav then. I definitely thought Skullin was going to go there. I thought it was going to be either him or Marvin so they could secure their runner right away. So
Yeah.
again, at the beginning, I said I was shocked, and I still am.
I think that's a good spot though for now. 4th. I definitely see you guys having a lot of vertical movement later, but 4th seems acceptable for your team.
Hey, top 4 is all we need, so we don't have to be in the bottom of the playoff bracket.
There you go.
So number 3 team, he's got Holy Shrek Empire, which is Shrek, Solace, Spank, and Dylan. And of course, Shrek's a really good player. Number 1 actually voted, and Solace is annoying in the middle or wherever he is. He's good at like staying alive, getting good kills and starting a push, ending a push. And Spank gets to play with Shrek again, and I feel like he plays better whenever he's playing with Shrek because he's definitely had a few down seasons. He's ready for the resurgence. And then they were able to get Dylan in the last round, the availability god. So they definitely have the flanking and the killing power to win games, I think.
I think the only thing that's going to stop this team is like just running and like who runs. I'm assuming it's going to be Dylan, but I feel like that kind of hurts your flanking. So I just like wonder who would run.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of the Dylan pick. Personally, I think like a Sev pick here for this team would have been lights out. I just don't see, like you said, I don't see who's picking up that bomb. Spank is insane. Spank is so good. I don't know if it's a Shrek factor, like you said, but Spank I think is fantastic. I think the first 3 people on that team are awesome. Dylan, nothing against Dylan. I just don't know who's picking up that bomb and not playing the tank game for that team.
We saw Dylan running it whenever we were scrimming against him. He seemed to do the majority of the running, but I've seen Spank grab it and also Solace too. Shrek seems to stay away from the bomb mostly, but it seemed like Dylan was running it mostly.
Team should just do the Cuban shuffles every time. Get it to half court and bomb it to the sky above the pad and just out tank you
it
with
in.
4 people. But I don't know, actually. Now that we're looking at that tee, like you said, I don't know how I feel about their running situation. If that team had Sev, I'd be much happier. I don't know how you guys feel about Sev, but I'd be much happier with that team with a dedicated runner.
To me, I think I would have picked Frenzy instead of Dylan because Frenzy is a pretty good runner. Not saying that Dylan isn't, but like he's a more like main runner, and he's I think honestly probably a better player than Dylan. But I also understand that they both kind of have pretty shitty availabilities. I don't know. I thought a Frenzy pick would have made more sense here instead of a Dylan, especially with Dylan also being like a toxic, a possibly toxic presence. I'm sure
Yes,
it won't be terrible, but it could go terribly wrong if like Dylan pisses them off or just like no shows.
Well,
it is tough that Dylan was. So your options were Dylan, who his availability could be terrible because he doesn't want to show up, or two EU players whose availability is bad because it's the middle of the night. That was a tough call.
yeah, I think Shrek likes Dylan. They get along, so I think that's why he went with that pick there. It kind of fits into the team build, I guess. But
It feels crazy to say, but I don't know if this team. I mean, who am I moving up to top three? I don't know. So I guess keeping them top three is fine for now. But I think that team has the most ground to lose this season as the season progresses.
Do you want to go to the other team?
Yeah, let's hear the two.
the number two would be, well, they don't have a name yet, so it's Hell's, Ace, Skullin, and BCN.
Okay, so then number one's chemical imbalance.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Hell's team. I mean, what more do you have to say than that they have Ace, because they do. But Hell's has, I've seen them tanking quite a bit actually on the wall. They did some running in some of the scrims that we had, but mostly I saw them tanking on the wall. I saw Ace doing a lot of running, or I think they might have passed it off between each other. But BCN's definitely caught onto this game fast. He's already pretty annoying, and Scotland, like we said before, he's just going to be a rounded player that can also hold ball or catch pass plays, get a little tanking in there. Good defender too, so he's just kind of your tool man. So
Scullin's great. I think Scullin is very good. I mean, we actually just scrimmed that team, but instead of BCN, it was Priest, and I believe Hells was running. But I mean, they were just pass playing and beating us so fast that it was hard to say anyone was actually running. But Hells is good, and I think Scullin. I mean, Scullin dominated us. He's so strong. How did you guys do against them in scrims, though?
oh, we beat them. That was another team that we I think we beat them 2 games out of 3. I'm not sure if the second time though. They might have beat us twice. So I think that's another team we traded games with across the board.
Yeah, when I played them, we beat them 2 out of 3 times, and the only game we lost is because Skolin would hide in our back. He'd just like crouch and just be a pain in the ass, and we'd forget about him and not realize he was there, and that's how they won.
Gotcha. I mean, I didn't get to play against BCN. It was obviously Priest, who I think makes that team stronger. But that BCN, from what I hear, is going to find his footing and be a very good player. But it's confusing to say since Priest was drafted after both those players. But he was, I mean, just that dynamic of Priest flanking and not dying, and Skullin flanking and not dying was brutal for a legacy team to have to deal with.
Yeah, I think like I said before, the bottom line is, they got some chemistry and they got the AC silent factor, so definitely some
Yeah.
potential to win games. And I certainly agree with Chemical's team being number one. Chemical, Mav, Novice, and admin powered Deathcrawler. That's um that's definitely a nightmare. That's a nightmare team for me to face. I don't like playing against any of you fuckers.
Yeah, that team is strong. That team is really strong. Deathcrawler being the worst player in your team is a good sign, and he's the worst player. No offense to Deathcrawler, by a margin. Like it's not. He's not the worst player by like some games he does better. He's the worst player on that team by like the difference between pro and legacy. He's but he's still a pro level player. That's how crazy that team's overall strength is.
I think all three of us are S's, and he's like a C or a B.
Yeah, which is a huge gap. And he was lead tanking. So now that he doesn't have that pressure, I expect him to be even better with no pressure on him to have to get the kills. You know what I mean? Now he can take his time, work for the kills. So I see that team as number one right now, and I don't see them having much of a chance of falling unless Mav and Novice start fighting with each other.
That hasn't been an issue so far.
Yeah, they've
As long as you guys are winning, it won't be.
they've been teammates before, so I think they can get along pretty well. And Chemical, I don't think Chemical cares, but see that this team was where I kind of thought that I would end up in the draft, sort of like the middle, sort of like maybe later in the last round. That's where I figured I would end up somewhere around there.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, honestly, Chemical, Mystical Novice, and Mav could have taken anybody to be their fourth, and it would have been a fantastic team. Getting anyone who's picked before or after Deathcrawler was like a home run, including you. So I don't think Chemical was upset about getting Deathcrawler there. I see that team as the clear number one. And I think if they have a really bad season, they'll fall to top four still. And like worst case scenario, they're still top four.
I think Death made a real come up last season. He had a losing season and not the best season, but he sort of had to step up and be the lead tank a lot of the time for his team, or one of the lead tanks. So he definitely improved quite a bit last season, and he's showing off this season for sure. So that pretty much wraps up the pro predictions that Evil did for us, and thank you again for doing that for us. And moving right on, which will be right to the Legacy League predictions. And I
Probably
don't.
have to fire through Legacy a little quicker than the pro. There's eight teams here.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know much about the legacy team since I was gone for when this happened, so it's going to be more of you two than me because I don't know many of these people.
I'm sure you'll remember some of them, Mav. I'm sure. But
Whose rankings are you going off of for this?
I have Epic's rankings here. I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't find any of the other ones. I was kind of looking earlier for some.
That's Epics are okay. I disagree with Epics, but let's go. Let's do it.
All right. So Epic for 8th place, he has Memorized team, and that's Memorized, Grunt Padre, Define Beauty, and Roswitha. And I believe they have Chicken God too, who played in season 1. Memorize hasn't played since season 1, but on a classic game type like this, as good as she can be with the hammer and a Slayer, I think once she figures this game out a little more, and I've seen she's been improving, because actually myself and Cosmos and Above Average have been helping their team out and giving them tips and stuff like that, and they've definitely been improving. I just think it's one of those cases where they just need to play together. And once they scream together a lot, I think they'll be fine. Definitely have a lot of tanking power. My only question is who runs for this team. So that's really my thoughts there.
I see this team. I agree with this team being ranked last. The problem I see with this team is if they don't have the bomb, like let's say they're on defense, but they're pushing. I'm not worried about them getting kills. I think Memorize, Grunt, they could streak and kill your whole team, but I don't see how that team in particular deals with pushing me to the corner and I just lob the bomb across the other corner. I feel like you could just endlessly play keep away against that team, just because of the nature of Grunt, how Grunt plays, and that's why I'm comfortable putting them last. Obviously, they're strong players and that could change, but they need to really figure out how they're securing control of the bomb.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if they can make the big plays, score goals whenever there's opportunities, stuff like that, and be able to have a solid runner, I think things.
They're a tip-off team. They win tip-off. I think if they could win tip-off 5 rounds, I think they could win five rounds. You know what I mean? I think they're going to need to win those tip-offs and get the bomb and control it and score that way.
Yeah, this seems like a defensive team to me.
Yeah, I think Memorize has said that she might consider running it if there's nobody else that will or want to, because she's a good player. She's good with the sword as well in season one. She's just I think she's just pretty good mechanically, so she should be able to. And
I
then
just love Grunt Padre. He's a great guy. Just want to shout out to Grunt Padre. I've always had so much fun playing with Grunt Padre, so shout out to him. He's my favorite.
definitely.
Now let's talk about the worst number 7 ranking I've ever seen in my life. Let me hear it.
And you're right, because that's where he has your team,
Yep.
and that's NKot and Rebs, and then Pete, and then Eric. Then who's your fifth? You have Pac Fan,
Pac
right?
Fan.
That's right. The package. Um, definitely, I could see the vision in the first round going for Rebs, just getting that laid back tool type of player, the tool guy. He can do a little bit of it all. He can make some plays, run, tank, defend, all that. And then definitely fits the vibe with your team with getting who you got. And Pete, man, swear to God, the first 30 seconds I saw him play, he got a carrier kill, picked up the bomb, and ran it in. First time he ever played Infinite, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, Pete is good. Pete's good. Eric is getting there. Pac-Fan is my plan with Pac-Fan is I know what he is. He's I know how he plays. I know how his skill level is. I think Eric has potential to be better than Pac-Fan, but Pac-Fan is my stable fourth. You know what I mean? So I plan on getting him in games just because I know his skill level. I don't agree with us being 7th at all. I think people slept on me and Rebs. Pete and Eric, it's hard to say they slept on them. They've never seen them play. But I mean, we scrimmed against Rain. We clobbered them. Scrimmed against Evil the other night, but I think Evil was they had an off night. We beat up on them pretty hard, but I think they were just in a funk. They had a big meltdown. It happens. I just think our team is way better than people expect.
Yeah, I can see the potential there. And like I said, with someone new, sky's the limit, and the expectations are low. So you just don't really know what their ceiling's going to be. So just keep on scrimming and working with them to get the
Yeah.
most. It didn't take Pete long to get the mechanics down with the hammer. That's for sure. That's one thing I noticed right away.
Yeah, I think too. The big factor was last season. I was playing on a team that was just a non-factor. That team, we had no hope. I was negative on the season. I don't think I've gotten negative in a game yet, even against Ace's team. When we just scrimmed them, I didn't go negative against them. I have had no issues going plus 20, plus 30 in our scrims. So I'm putting us as number 1. I'm saying it right now.
That's fair. All right, number 6, he has Active Hate team, which is Active Hate, Puppies, Boss Tycoon, and Aware Mosquito. I'm not sure who he has as his 5th player. I'll have to go look.
Harvey Birdman.
Harvey Birdman, you got it. Fact checking. That's what we like. Active definitely drafted a lot smarter than people thought he would. He really did his due diligence and checked people's stats and stuff like that. And it's a lot easier with the late league bot and stuff like that now. No longer do you have to go sift through game history and all that. You just type in a command and it shows someone's stats and their win-loss and all that, their goals and their last 5 game stats and stuff like that. So I feel like he drafted smart, pretty tank heavy, but again, the question mark here is who runs the ball. It's sort of like
It's
with
going
your
to be
team.
Boss.
Sort of like with your team too, NKot. Like that's what I wonder is who runs the ball for y'all. But I know you can.
I've been running, and I've just been dictating where Pete and Eric go, and that's just how we've been doing it.
And Rebs can too, so I guess I'm not really too concerned about that. Between you two, you'll make it happen. But same with Active team, like as long as they have some semblance of running, playmaking, defending there, this team definitely has more than enough tanking power.
Yeah, we played against them, and I noticed I actually told Active this on the side. I said your team is strong tanking, but they don't seem to want to tank together. So like they'll split off. So let's say Havoc and Active were coming at me, and I had the bomb towards the side. They would immediately split and go towards the spawn and one towards me. Now I have just one to beat, and I'm not in danger at all. So it was, that's just a coordination thing. But I definitely think that team could improve. But I'm okay with them being ranked towards the bottom portion for now. But they definitely have some upside in the future.
I would assume Boss runs for this team. Is that who's running?
Yeah, I think Boss is going to run it, but I I think when we played, yeah, I think Boss is definitely going to run the bomb for them, but I don't know how much he wants to run. He seems to like using the sword a lot now.
A swordsman. Who would have thought?
I'm okay with that ranking.
At number 5, he's got Sauteed Smurf's team, which is Sauteed Smurf, the chairman, I guess you could call him, Mungo Pongo. And then he's got Bubbaga and a Mince Pole.
He's got Panther Lily too.
Yeah, and Panther Lily. So that's
Panther Lily was the second round pick.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid team, obviously, because Smurf can just sort of like turn on the Jets at any time. He can just be doing whatever in a game, and then he just starts playing at another level. And then Mungo, he's kind of sort of similar to how I play, and a lot of
Yeah, I was going to say that Mungo is very similar to you
and me
in terms of like he's a threat. I always see Mungo in the court and think like he could pose a threat, and I can't deal with him quickly and efficiently, so I have to kind of work around him on the court. Same way I think of you.
Yeah,
it's like I can't eliminate you fast. It's not possible, and I know you're a threat, and I don't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, there's lots of players with that archetype. I would say Panther Lily is also that way. Deathcrawler, Priest. There's just lots of players that are that way. And I think with this team, it'll be interesting to see who ends up being the fourth between Bubbaga and Immense Pole. But I know they're both good friends of Smurf. And again, it's kind of like with Scrappy does on your team. It's the sky's the limit, really. So it'll all be who ends up having the most potential and giving them the best chance to win.
Yeah, I like that team. I think I put them in the top 4. I think Smurf got slipped on a little bit. I think that team definitely is top 4, maybe top 3 even, in my opinion.
I think if Smurf like actually shows up and Panther Lily is like a really solid, good killing tank, he's kind of, in my eyes, he's sort of like a really worse version of Spank, where he'll go like -20, but he'll have like the most kills in the entire game.
Yeah, that's a Panther Lily kind of MO. Lots of deaths, lots of kills. That's why I think that team is top 3. I'm putting them up there with me, my team, as a runner for the number 1 spot.
Bro said I'm putting them up there, but they're not number 1.
Yeah.
All right, number 4 we have Necessary Evil's team, which is Evil, Spoon, Doorstopper, and Trespass, and they also have Cladroshun, who played during Season 1, although their availability is going to be pretty spotty, so I'm not sure when they'd be able to practice or play. Evil always picks pretty good teams. I think he took a runner off the board to give himself one and take away a runner from others. But as you said, NKot, they definitely had an off night. I'm not sure how their other scrims have gone, but definitely some
Yeah,
weird
they
things.
had a bad night, and I'm not going to judge them based on that one night. I definitely think they're a middle of the pack team, but that was a particularly bad. And Doer and Spoon and Evil are all solid. Trespass, I feel like can be good, and then there's times where I think he gets in his own head a little bit about like game mechanics, and he gets kind of tilted where he's like, that shouldn't have happened that way. That's just Grifball. Doesn't always happen the way it's supposed to, and you have to just keep going.
Yeah, you can't get in the connection pitfall because I mean this game is obviously very, very connection dependent and connection based. But if you just get in that rabbit hole, you'll never be able to climb out of it. You'll blame everything on it, and then you won't be able to focus. You'll just be pissed off. So I
Exactly.
agree. Um,
Who's the fifth on that team?
it's Cladroshun. The season 1 player. Remember, he played with Oreo's team.
Oh, okay, that's why the name sounds familiar. He was the young lad who, like, was bravely playing on Oreo's team when they played, or I think they were playing at like 1 o'clock at night because of Oreo.
Yeah. Oh, that was wild. The winners team. That was their name. Didn't win a single game.
Yeah, I think that team's a middle of the pack team. I don't think they're going to the championship, but they have potential.
And number 3 is Daedric's team, and I would say he drafted quite well. Daedric got Sev, and then he got Ducky, and then he got arguably probably the steal of the draft is Devio. I think he slid a little bit too far, but he's got quality players everywhere. So I think that definitely gets them a lot of potential. Their 5th is Jolly Jihadist, but their schedule is quite awful, so I'm not sure when they would play either, but they definitely have a solid starting 4th.
Yeah, the team's
That
strong.
actually
What was that?
that actually argued that Jolly is the seal of the draft. From the night he
I
was
think
playing
he can't
Rayleigh,
get
he was pretty
online until like
good.
11:30 at night, and only like 2 days a week.
Yeah, his
We all know
availability
people's
for it.
schedule.
True.
They can always play it sometimes.
Yeah, but it's just that's a tough availability. If that's actually his availability, that's going to be you're never going to get to practice with him, and that's just tough, especially in Legacy where you're trying to get practice. Like Daedric needs practice. I think Daedric's potato could definitely he improved so much last season just working with Frenzy and Cosmos. I think he has a huge potential, but he needs to play with his team. So Jihadist not being around, I think Devio is going to be their guy. Team is strong. I think Sev is a major X factor. Um, it all comes down to how good Potato could get in during the course of the season, though.
Yeah, he's a solid player if he takes it seriously for sure. He
Seriously.
could be a D plus C level player for sure.
Yeah, but I think if that team wants the top 4, I think he needs to become a B player. Like I think he needs to really elevate his game because he's going to have to be the lead tank if Sev's running.
I think they should be able to spread out tanking evenly between him, Ducky, and Devio. They got the triple D's going.
They do have the triple D's. I think if Daedra can get up to a B level player, B minus for the stats, I think that team's top 4. If he can't get there, I think they're going to rely on him getting there. They'll be in the bottom half.
And then at number 2, they've got Irene, and that's Irene, Epic Beast, and then they have FPS Coded and Buddha, who we played in the tourney with, and then he also has Risky or Perfect Demise. This is another team that I just don't know who's gonna step up and be the 4th for their team between Coded and Buddha. So I guess that will be a big factor. Rain can definitely kill in space because he was on your team last season, NKot. You know that.
Yep.
He can definitely kill very well, and they have Epic Beast for their runner. Risky is kind of like their role player in a way. So, yeah, again, that's the question for me is who's going to be their 4th.
Yeah, so we played them. They did not have Risky for our games. Coded FPS has the biggest range out of anyone I've ever played in Infinite. His range is insane. He just is new and was doing a lot of just holding forward and swinging. So if you swung early, you killed him. But if he could figure out how to utilize his ridiculous range, he's going to dominate Legacy. I'm telling you, it was insane how far away he was killing me from.
Yeah.
I think that team, though, overall, I put him top 4, definitely 100%. I put them with Smurf and me in like top 3 contention area.
And the number 1 team that he has ranked is Recharging's team, which is Recharging, Avenger, Big Al, and Godly FGC, and then of course they have the best gamer tag in the league in Vinny Haw as their 5th. I was
I love
helping.
Vinny Hall.
I was helping
Vinny
them
Hall's a good guy.
scrim. I was helping them scrim last night, just kind of a ragtag, and they definitely look good in scrims. A lot of pass plays, a lot of working together, and
Yeah, they're a strong team.
yeah,
I think the problem I see with them is the the weakness, it all depends on Avenger. If Avenger's hammer jumping around, which he's inclined to do, there's going to be an opening for stronger teams. Like, so if you have Frenzy is posted up, let's say middle right, and Avengers hammer jumping in the center, that left side of the court versus a stronger team is going to be wide open. And that's where I feel like they're going to struggle. But they definitely, nothing against Big Al or Godly. They're very good. It's just Big Al and Godly against Rain and Beast pushing forward on the left side because the right side is occupied with Frenzy and Avenger. It's just going to blow open.
Well, in a game like that, it's all about mismatches. So I personally like it when the best player on their team comes out and has to deal with me. Because then I feel like the worst player on our team is going up against the best player on their team. Really on offense is where it works more because then you're dragging away their best player over to the side while the rest of your team gets to work on the other side. Not saying it'll always work or anything, but I get what you're saying. You mismatch like
Yeah,
that too much and it's bad.
Our strategy has been Rebs goes to the left, I go to the right, and Pete and Eric go to the right, and I just send them in with insane pressure, and I just kind of use them as bait and farm kills. And eventually, you're going to have to send someone strong enough to deal with Rebs, and then the right side just opens up. So I think I think we match up really well against Recharge's team. I look forward to playing them. I think they're going to be good. I think they're top 4. I think it's Smurf, my team, Rain, and Recharge in his top 4.
Well, that wraps up the Legacy League predictions. Shout out to Epic for doing that content, and also others who have pitched in with content to read in the off season. It's always nice to see mocks and rankings and stuff like that. So, moving on is just was going to touch on the late league bot that A Spence finished up, and it's been working for the community and giving people something to do in the off season. It definitely has had a lot of nights with two lobbies at once. Sometimes even reaching almost 3 lobbies. So it's definitely been good to see everyone in it, and so yeah, huge shout out to A
I
Spence for putting up with that and building that for us.
I love the idea of the late league bot, but this late league bot in particular has a vendetta against me. So I hate this late league bot. But late league is great. I don't know if you've seen. I've haven't gotten into a late league game in probably 2 weeks, and I've been in queue for probably 10 hours.
Maybe
The
you're just
bot
not
just
setting up at the right time.
the bot just skips me and then or crashes out. But for everyone else, this bot it's amazing. Late league is the best thing you could have going. It's perfect for any night you can get late league going. The ranking and the ratings and the whole system is fantastic. It's without late league, I think the season just kind of gets a little not boring, but there's definitely a lull in the activity mid season. Late league's there to keep it going.
I don't play much late league, but I will say just from like my time playing it, it has been enjoyable. It's been a lot better having it back in the community than obviously not. It also sort of keeping the league alive. Sort of a big thanks to Ace Spence for that.
Yeah, Ace Spence is a cool guy. Can we
He's
just
a
say
cool
it? Ace
guy.
Spence is a very cool guy.
The coolest,
He's a cool guy.
the
Shout
fucking
out Ace
coolest.
Spence.
Yeah, and a note I put right back here by the late league bot stuff: breathing life back into the community. So true. It's definitely got a lot of people active and signing up and playing in events and whatnot. So that kind of ties
Yeah,
into the next segment, and these last couple will be pretty quick, and then we can wrap up here. The next one was just the weekly Wednesday customs that I've been hosting, but sure other admins will too, like Mungo, maybe Death too. Every Wednesday we've been hosting like our late league Q raid at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, trying to make something consistent for people to play in also during the season, and just kind of a loose way to have a list of people that can all jump in on late league around a certain time and get a bunch of lobbies. So lately it's been kind of legacy focused since Legacy just had their draft, but it'd just be good to have something to play in every week.
yeah. I agree. I think it's great. I think you've been doing an excellent job trying to get some of these new signups involved in the weekly customs, and it definitely needed. Um, you've been. I mean, shout out to you. Obviously, you know what you're trying to do, and I think you're doing it great. So it's nice that Eric. I know Eric got involved in a couple of them. It's just a needed thing because lately you can get cutthroat. It's nice to have something a little organized that occurs regularly because it makes a more controlled environment for some of these new players, which is a plus.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think if people would rather go in their own lobbies as opposed to going into the queue, I would definitely understand that because it's just easier way to keep certain players out and have everyone be legacy players and not mix people up, so then they can compete against peers. So I always encourage people if we're doing Wednesday night Grifball and they want to just break off in their own lobbies instead of going to the queue, do that. Go play big team battle if you want. I don't give a fuck as long as you're doing something.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing that I have here before the outros is just that I'll be hosting some preseason rushes for both leagues, Pro and Legacy. They'll both be on this Saturday on the second. So hope to see
What
a
time
All
will
bunch
they
of
right.
you.
be?
Yeah.
Pro is 8:30 Eastern. Legacy is 9 Eastern.
Okay, actually might be able to make the pro one.
Hey, I figured
Do better.
why not have them both on the same day? That way I can just get two events knocked out in one day. It'll be easy to keep up with. What I'll do is I'll just make I'll probably have Evil and Mungo help me out. I'll make them admins of the bracket so then they can update it if I'm in a game or something. So I always like running these events so people can test out their teams before the season. And it's actually on on the day that the pro season starts. So hey, if they haven't played a game yet, it's still preseason.
Still preseason.
All right, so we're pretty much to the end of this here, and this is pretty much where you just shout out people or whatnot. Uh, my shout out's gonna probably be similar to what it was like last time. Anybody that plays in this league and competes in this league after all this time, what 17 years it's been running, almost 18, can damn near buy cigarettes legally. That's definitely contributing a lot to the community. So I definitely appreciate people who come into the customs. Anyone who plays contributes in any way. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's the players who stick around, and then the admins and mods who stick around and help, and it's work. You're doing work when you don't have to be, and it's all for the something we love doing and playing and having fun with, and I think it's a great thing. And just shout out to all you guys, uh, Mav, Noplex. You guys are just doing. I did it for a little bit. I know it's it's annoying to get to have to do it, but it's required, and you guys are doing an excellent job. Shout out to my man Ace Spence, love that guy. Death Crawler made the best game type in Grifball history, and shout outs to you guys.
For me, I just want to say thank you for everyone who signed up for the season. I think we hit like a record mark with like 70 signups, which is pretty huge for Infinite standards since we've always sort of stuck around the weird like 10 to 12 mark for teams, and obviously matchmaking helped, and now we have an AMA and a pro. I just want to say thank you for everyone who signed up, and thank you to like Grunt and Acements who help with like stats and just getting the league buy or like the stats spa getting all set up, and Death for making the game mode, and Noplex for always helping out with content or just setting up events.
Big shout out to the fact that we have 70 people signed up, and I think there's only 200 people who play Halo Infinite still. So we've
We're
almost
getting most of them.
overtaken the entire Halo Infinite scene.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good to see everyone come together to make things happen. And NKot, I appreciate you coming on and being a guest. It's definitely good to banter with you again. It almost felt like the when we were broadcasting a bit.
Yeah, I love just shooting the crap. I don't think we are allowed to say shit,
Oh,
but
yes, you're allowed to say whatever you want.
well, I had a great time. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I think think Grifball is best. Grifball, I've been playing it for majority of not majority of my life yet, but we're getting there, which is sickening. But we're getting to that point.
Grifball is almost as old as I am, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, wait. So what year were you born, Mav?
2004. I'm 21.
All right. So
Almost
when you
22.
were like 4 years old, me and Pete were playing Grifball.
Back when
That's
you were like a young angsty teen.
yeah, we were degenerates. If we would play, the lobbies were brutal because back then there would be 7 custom games going at the same time, and you would just kick people and boot people and jump in. But you were 4 years old, and we were grinding.
When Mav was born, I was a senior in college. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
I think men's was out of college by that time. I remember having this
Men's,
conversation with
I
men's
am
once.
confused with men's because men's out of nowhere is the same age as me now, but he was definitely in college when I was in high school.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure men's is about the same age as Noplex. It's something like that. Because he was like a Grifball admin when the league first started. And I believe he told me he was out of college when he started playing Grifball.
Shout out to men's.
You never know. He might be like young Sheldon or some shit. Graduate college at 13.
Yeah. Overall, I think I just love our community. It's such a good community, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys having me on to, soapbox a little bit about Grifball and how great my team is and how great Pete and Eric are, Rebs and all that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's great having you as a guest. And to everyone that listens to our episodes, thank you for tuning in. And we hope you'll stay tuned in for the next one, which will likely be the postseason edition for the season, where we'll break out some playoff predictions and whatnot. But until next time, we will see you on the court. Take it easy.
Bye.